Here we have a SAT math question on compound interest. Okay, let's go to the information. Kristen opens a bank account that earns 4% interest each year, compounded once every 2 years. If she opened the account with K dollars, which of the following expressions represents the total amount after T years? Okay, first let me write the formula for compound interest. That is A equals to P times 1 positive R times 1 over J whole to the power of T times J. Okay, now let's understand the components of this formula. So this A represents the value of the deposit after T years. So this T represents a number of years. So A over here is the value of the deposit after T years. And P is the initial value of the deposit or principal. And R is the rate of interest. In this case, it's 4%. And now we have to carefully understand this 1 over J. So now let me write the required stuff for this 1 over J. Let me write it. Okay, I've written the stuff over here for 1 over J. So that is 1 over J equals to compounding interval in years. So for example, if interest is compounded once in a 6 months, what is the value of 1 over J? So the 1 over J always has to be expressed in years. So if interest is compounded every 6 months, then 1 over J is equal to 1 half, because 6 months equals to 1 half of a year. In case if the interest is compounded once every 3 months, what is the value of this 1 over J? So once 3 months means we have to convert 3 months to years, because 1 over J represents compounding interval in years. Always we have to express this 1 over J in years. So when interest is compounded once every 3 months, we have to convert this 3 months to years. So for that, we have to divide this 3 by the number of months in a year, that is 12. So then we get 1/4. That is 1/4 of a year equals to 3 months. So when interest is compounded every 3 months, then the value of 1 over J is 1/4. In case the interest is compounded every year, that means once in a year, what is the value of 1 over J? So that's simply 1. So because the 1 over J represents the compounding interval in years, when interest is compounded once every year, so the compounding interval is just 1 year, then value of 1 over J is equals to 1. But in our case, the compounding interval is 2 years. That is, interest is compounded every 2 years. Then in this case, what is the value of 1 over J? Then the value of 1 over J is equal to 2. Okay, now I got the value of 1 over J, and also I need the value of J in this equation, because I have to plug in the value of J over here. Okay, now let's solve for J in this equation. For that, I have to take a reciprocal on both sides. If I take reciprocal for this stuff on the left side, 1 over J, it will become J over 1, or simply we can write this one as J. When I take reciprocal for this number 2, it will become 1 over 2. Okay, now let's plug in the values for P, R, 1 over J and J into the formula over here. And already we know that A is the final value of the deposit after T years, or the total amount after T years. So we can keep this A as it is. And P is the initial value of the deposit or the principal. That is given in the question itself. That is, the Kristen opened the account with K dollars. We can plug in K for this P. 1 positive, and the value of R is the rate of interest, that is 4%. Okay, let me write it, times, and the value of 1 over J, we got it over here, that's 2. That is a compounding interval, that is 2 years. It is given in the question. We can plug in 2 for 1 over J. And T refers to number of years. That's not given, so we can keep this T as it is. And the value of J is 1 half. Just now we got it. We can plug in 1 half for J. Okay, so A equals to K times 1 positive. So when I convert this 4% to decimal, it will become 0.04, because 4% means it can be written as 4 over 100, and when I divide 4 by 100, I'll be getting 0.04. So 0.04 times 2, and when I multiply this T and 1 half, I'm getting T over 2. Okay, so A equals to K times 1 positive. When I multiply this 0.04 by 2, I'm getting 0.08 to the power of T over 2. So then A equals to K times, so when I add this 1 and 0.08, I'm getting 1.08 to the power of T over 2. So this expression represents the total amount after T years. That's the final value of the deposit after T years. So we find this expression K times 1.08 to the power of T over 2 in option D. So the correct answer choice for this question is option D.